what is the difference between
What
ceramic?
are the main
Saya
factors?
sendiri set up benda ni sendiri.
Ah! Hey Damia, where did you get this ceramic? It looks so beautiful.
Yes, it is. I got it from my late grandmother, and she gave it to me. It's a kind of sentimental heritage that I should preserve.
What does the heritage mean? I've heard about the cultures of ceramics. The history behind it's quite interesting. I wonder how this kind of ceramic was made up. But what does the heritage mean?
Heritage means the property that is or may be inherited, an inheritance. There are valuable things, such as historical buildings passed down from previous generations and related to things of historical or cultural value that are worthy of preservation.
Oh, it's kind of legacy too, right?
Yes, it is. Legacy is something that is passed on. Legacy may be monetary or your assets.
I could agree more. This kind of heritage shows the remarkable and uniqueness identity of our culture. Hi Damia, hi Atira, what are you guys doing? We are looking at the ceramic that Damia brought in. You guys want to know how these are made?
Let's follow us to know more.
Ta-da! Finally, we're here.
Let's find out more about this ceramic manufacturing.
Let's go! Whoa, there are so many unique and beautiful ceramics here. I wonder how they make all these ceramics. You guys want to know?
Let's meet Miss Rozana binti Musa, the founder of Bendang Studio.
Hello. Hi, Miss Rozana. I'm Amsha and this is my friend Zana. Can you share with us about those ceramics?
Yes, sure. Follow me.
First of all, can you tell us about how this ceramic manufacturing company started? Is it an inheritance from the previous generation?
Bendang Studio started officially as a registered company in 2010 and I started this company by myself after I graduated from Seni Lukis dan Seni Reka Ceramics in UITM.
Miss, what is the difference between ceramic and pottery?
The difference between pottery and the ceramic is that pottery is more to the product called tembikar or cooking utensils made from clay. Meanwhile, the basic material used in ceramic is clay, which will then be burned at a certain temperature and change to ceramic.
And what are the main factors that encourage you to be involved in this ceramic industry?
First, I want to make a space for my artwork. Gradually, when there is a need for survival, the work has turned to commercial. From that, we produce handmade tableware and at that time, there was a demand for ceramic. That is the reason we can maintain the product of handmade ceramics tableware. Here we are the designer maker. Thus, we will design our design from scratch, from the raw material process until the end of the product. We have a team member who are experts in their work. As a designer maker, we will determine our production method. But for most of the design, we use the mold technique, which is slip casting. Most of the mold we made by ourselves, but for some of them, we get the outsourcing from other mold workers, depending on design and complexity. The first step in this method is we use the slip in the barrel container. The slip in the kind of clay, but in the shape of a slip. Then the slip will be taken and poured into the mold. This method we call slip casting. We have to wait for a few minutes, depends on how good the mold. It might take up to 30 minutes. The function of the mold is to absorb water in the clay. After it reaches the thickness that we want, we will pour it back. The process of pouring the slip takes time as we are not a factory. After we get the thickness, we will pour it back the excess thickness that we do not need and let it dry until the clay is strong enough to be removed from the mold. Next, we will do the finishing process and let it dry on the shelf for 3 days to make sure that the clay is dry enough before loading it into the firing place. After 3 to 4 days of the drying process, these are the example of the mold. Then we will put it into the first firing, which we call beast firing at 660 Celsius. So here it is. We must wait until it is full before we put it into clean. We will on the gas clean once a week. Here is the bisqueware, which are the condition after the first firing. So here we collect it all, then we put a glaze. The glaze is like a color for ceramics. So here's the place where we do the glazing process. Glazing is the coloring process of ceramics. For colors, we do not use common colors. The definition of glaze is a thin layer of glass coating on ceramic. But here we use our formula from the raw material. Then we create a formula based on the colors that we want. For glazing, the temperature is 1200 Celsius in 9 hours of firing. After cooling until 150 Celsius, then we will unload the mold pack.
What is the market demand for the ceramic manufacturing industry?
For ceramics, we are specifically a handmade maker. In Malaysia, we only have less than 10 handmade ceramics makers, and Bendang Studio is one of the largest ceramics manufacturers. The demand is quite high because Bendang itself supplies tableware to cafe, hotels, restaurants, and F&B chains in Malaysia. We also export our tableware to Singapore and Japan in small batches. The challenge that we had to face was finding skilled workers for ceramics manufacturing. In this industry, we need more skilled workers in this area, but it is really hard to find those who are interested.
And what is your hope for the ceramic manufacturing industry for the next generation?
I hope more local ceramics makers will grab this opportunity as this industry is relatable to tourism and F&B. I hope that this industry is more prosperous in the future.
Thank you, Ms. Rozana.
You are welcome.
Thank you so much, Mr. To appreciate our culture, we must learn how to preserve our heritage.
To preserve it, we must take good care of the legacy passed on to us.
To preserve our heritage, we must participate in cultural events and traditions to share our identities with others. To preserve our heritage, one should be able to provide children and young people with an opportunity for self-reflection on their identity and a deeper understanding of their ancestors' lives.